Yeah. So good morning once again. And as you said, that you want the session to be a little shorter today, and which we
Yes.
will make up, of course, in the coming sessions and all. So the one thing that I wanted, I mean, even though your main part of the sessions, the main parts we have touched upon, one thing that we did not touch upon was the book summary, which is also a
Mm.
very important part of any Tony Buzan, whatever course you take in Tony Buzan Academy. That book mapping we generally prefer because whatever big books we are reading, for example, this is a 400 or 500 page book, whatever that we are reading, we want that uh, people say that we remember 100% of the book, which is a fake thing. And nobody wants to remember 100% of that book. I want only what is useful to me, and whatever I can implement it, and maybe I can quote certain things from there. So we remember we need maybe 50 to 60% of what is there in the book.
Mm.
So how to mind map that much information in a you know, kind of in one paper if you are doing it handwritten, and in a one map if you are making it in mind master. So I should just show you an example.
I have to tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I just remembered that after our assessment,
Uh,
I decided finally, after these many years, I finally that day decided to add in my mind map as a PhD dropout.
but
That became, but that is
interesting.
also a qualification. My 2 years that I could not put in anywhere is finally now part of my mind map. So I can remember that, there are no wasted efforts.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
also believe that there are, I mean, there are no wasted efforts and never wasted efforts. I mean, it always,
Absolutely.
yes, yeah, you just cannot say it was wasted. Something will come up from there. Yeah. But yeah,
Absolutely.
that's interesting. PhD dropout. People say college dropout, and it's such a
Yeah,
sometimes it's cool also. People, I mean, I have seen a lot of people now saying that yes, I was college dropout and like that. So
no, that's what I said. And it's become the buzzword, na, dropout. So I said I should put mine also that I am a PhD
sounds interesting
dropout.
though.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So
Finally, it's
can
an
you yeah, can you see my map, ma'am?
yeah,
Ikigai. Can you see this? Ikigai, yeah.
yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay, just let me show. I will show you. This is okay. So this map, there are no images. This is I have made just to show you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and for example, instead of okay, let me just close. This is like very quickly I've made, and once you have made like this, then of course you can keep on modifying it with images and all. But I want to show you how you can just do it very quickly. This is also not made in like, I did not take more than 20-25 minutes to make this map, but this map consists of everything that is there in the book. So what I did first was not this map, but I took a plain notebook, and whatever I could understand from the book after reading each chapter, I would just put them in the form of a radial diagram. Okay, for example, I read chapter 1, and I liked, okay, in chapter 1, the book Ikigai speaks about miracle diet, how by eating certain kind of things and certain way of eating can increase your lifespan and all of that. So whatever I understood from that chapter, I just wrote chapter 1, or I didn't write chapter 1. I understood, okay, it is talking about diet. So I just wrote something there, and radially, instead of writing it line by line, I made it. So like that, 9 chapters were there, 9 to 10 chapters were there. So for each chapter, I have some 10 pages of very rough and messy speed maps, I would call, not mind maps. I have speed maps. So the first
Mm.
step is, if you remember the book steps that
Mm.
I shared with you in the last session, first what we do is we take the book and we just take a glance that how many chapters are there. So I saw, okay, there are 9 chapters. And instead of making one mind map at one go, let me do this. Let me first do it chapter wise, and then I will go to the next step. So if we can do that first 5 minutes exercise, and then we move to that chapter wise thing. Now, once all that is done, what we can do is, or sometimes what I would also say that there are some people who would not do chapter wise. They will just read and make notes, like how any other people, I mean, not in the form of minor, they will just jot down the points. Like point number, chapter 1, I have 5 points to remember and one quotation that I would want to use. Chapter 2, 5 or 10 points. So they go in that way. And once they collect the notes, then they make a mind map. So whichever way you feel better, or I mean, whichever way is convenient for you, you can do that. Once that is done, this is a very simple, we call it mega mind map, because even though it's like just looking three branches, only three branches. One is what is the meaning of this word, because ikigai, it's not like something that many people will understand directly by reading. This is the book summary of book ikigai. So I've written what is the meaning of ikigai. So the moment I open this, you can see there is so much of, so many things here: reason for being, purpose in life, sense. So whatever one words or two, three words that came up in my mind after reading the entire book. And this exercise I'm doing only after I've finished. After I've finished, I have some basic data about the book. So I wrote what is the meaning of the book. And once I've done that, I can even Google and check out. For example, this reason for being. This is something I directly picked up from Google. That ikigai means reason for being, or how to find your purpose in life. So once we do that, then I wrote about the book. And if you see in about the book also, first, of course, who are the authors of the book? So that even if I'm giving this presentation to someone, suppose I just have to give, in fact, I have given this ikigai presentation that was in another software, where I have all the images and everything. And I took a 30 minutes presentation on only about ikigai for young students, how to find purpose in life and why is it so important and all of that. So for them, I don't have to remember the entire book, just this one mind map would do. By now, you already know we can give presentations of 2-3 hours also using mind maps. So about the authors. And then after that, what I did was, what is the objective of the book? And that is, again, if you just read the first page of the book, or maybe the backside of the book, the objective is written there. So just, I mean, you don't have to go and read the entire book, but just whatever you've understood, what is the book all about? So if you see this particular book is written based on all the interviews. So it's a research kind of book. They have taken they have interviewed 100 people from 100 centenarians from Japan.
Yeah.
And whatever is their lifestyle and all of that, they have documented on a very beautiful way. So interview, the book is based upon interview. That was my first point. Then what is the interview all about? To get insights of their life philosophy and understand what is their ikigai, and then help the readers find the ikigai in life. And why? Because they want to help the readers live a healthy and long life. So if you see only with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just 5 objectives, I think even you have understood, okay, next time, even if you're not reading the book, you will be able to say, okay, these are the 5 objectives, or Ikigai speaks about this: living a long and healthy life, interviewing the Japanese centenarians. And then from that book, even the readers will get a lot of idea about how we can live a long and healthy life, or what kind of lifestyle we should adopt. So I write about, and this can be done for any book, even the leadership book that you showed last time, or whatever book. That objective about the authors and objectives. Beyond, I think these 2 points are common for any book. But in this book, I wanted to, throughout the book, you can see this word repeating again and again. Secrets of Okinawans. So I thought, why not make an extra branch for this?
So can you open the branch? What is it?
Yeah, sure. So first, I have written here a note, because I was actually presenting it. So I have written here a note that despite or in spite of being highly affected during Second World War, the Okinawan island in Japan, also known as the island of longevity, they are known for having the highest number of centenarians in the world. And also they have, the mortality rate due to cardiovascular diseases are extremely low. So this is again a note only for me. In fact, I forget to mention the point. I can always just have a quick look at why particularly people or the researchers are wanting to study the Okinawans, because they were highly affected in Second World War. But even after all of that, they have rebounded. And of course, we know about their technology and all of that. But even from the health perspective, they are doing so well. And then I have, if you see, I have these branches that I have again written. They have enviable level of enthusiasm. If you see, fewer chronic ailments, they're active until the end of their life. And each of these word is like keyword for me. Why I'm saying, the moment I have written enviable level of enthusiasm, I know in the book it is written. Why did I say enviable? Because there are people who are, dancing, driving, painting, singing, dancing at the age of 88, 100, 110. They have given interviews. So of course it's enviable level of enthusiasm. Means that is the word I have chosen. So I've written here. Then some keywords. The moment I say fewer chronic ailments, I know I have read in the book that a lot of people have given interview. They have never faced any kind of, big diseases where they were admitted in hospital. And even at the age of 80 or 100, they don't have some helper. They do all the work. They walk by themselves. They even do gardening. They cook. So just one word, but my brain will know what to explain to the audience. Or even now, as I'm talking, this book I have read only in the year 2020. So it's like 2 years, more than 2 years now. 2020 August I read. So if you see that, I can remember all of those things just from the mind map. So this is a special branch that you can add based upon the book. For example, in Ikigai, I have written Secrets of Okinawan. So any book, if you want to write something extra, some extra information. So this is just about the book, and the meaning I have already shown you, meaning of the word. So now once these two are done, then I have the basic idea about the book, or to whomever you are giving this information, or even for yourself. Then I have divided into 5 takeaways. So this is again what I do, or I suggest is, you cannot have 50 takeaways from one single book. Then it is like you're trying to remember too many things. We just have 5 or 10 takeaways. Generally 5, or maximum you can go for 7 or 10, not more than that, so that you don't crowd your brain. So the first takeaway is miracle diet. If you see, I have again given her a small note and written that they have a unique eating habit. So this is again for just for me to remember in case I have forgotten. But generally, I remember this because I've given this presentation so many times to young youth about how they should eat and all of that. So I'm writing that they eat only till the stomach is 80% filled up. So that doesn't objectively mean that you take up some measuring instrument and you weigh your food every time. Not that, but you consciously avoid overeating. That is what I wanted. I mean, it is written in the book. And then if you see that they rarely consume sugar, they eat food rich in antioxidants, they eat a variety of vegetables, they avoid dessert. And in Japanese culture, all food is served at once. So this is again from the book that I have taken up directly, that the food is not served like one by one, but everything is served together in one platter with small balls, so that they avoid overeating. So all these are picked up from the book, and the moment I put it here, this is like, okay, already I know. Or even if you are seeing this mind map, you don't even need to read the book. You can actually get that. Okay, this is the miracle that they're talking about. So this is the first takeaway, for example. Then the next takeaway is keep moving. So what I mean is, again here, in Japanese culture, again, this is picked up from the book. This is the first line of chapter 2. That in Japanese culture, there is no word that literally translates to retire, which means that even if they have completed their job tenure, it is just, okay, job has completed, or whatever is the standard 60, 70 years as per the government. But in their life, they keep moving. So what do they do to keep moving? They never retire. They do gardening, walking, yoga, or they do radio ties. So whatever it is they are doing, I'm just writing all of that. So okay, this is the lifestyle. Never retire. Again, they are extremely active people. They have a sense of purpose in life, and so important that they never retire. Even after actual retirement from work, they're always working. So all of that. Then flow. This is the main part where the book gets little lengthy. I would say a lot of chapters are dedicated to flow. So if you see, this is the biggest branch again. And I will just show you here. So flow again, if you see, I have written a note that this, I'll just increase. So flow, they have used this word from chapter 3, I think, or chapter 4, they have used this word a lot of times until the last chapter. But what they are saying is, this word flow is not devised by any of these authors. They have taken up this word from another author. So I have written, okay, this concept is popularized by these people. And what is flow? All that meaning I have written here, if you see. that when the person is absolutely present in the moment and is lost in the task, and actually if you're in a flow state, you will not feel hungry, you don't feel like, okay, what will be the outcome, you don't feel anxious, you just do it for the mere for example, as you mentioned in one of the sessions, that when you start taking sessions, you actually forget you're sick, or you might be having a lot of pain in your body, but you forget. And that happens for a lot of people who enjoy teaching. I have seen that I can go on, walk around in a room full, packed with 100, 200 students. And only after getting out of the room, I would realize, okay, I was having a headache or something like that. But that moment we forget. So that is again another example of flow where we are completely immersed.
Immersed in the
So,
moment.
so this concept was popularized by this positive psychologist, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi and Jien Nakamura. So all that information I have written here, flow.
Keep going. I'm looking for something for a
Sure,
book.
sure. Yeah, please, yeah, no issues.
I'm just looking for my ikigai.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Then flow, why is flow important, and why in this book Ikigai they are talking about it? So the author says that to find your Ikigai in life, you must have one or two activities that takes you to flow state.
Absolutely.
It could be even serving the community. Some people find absolute joy in serving the community. So it could be just anything. And then the author talk about avoiding multitasking. They say that at least for 10 minutes you do a task, but then during the 10 minutes, don't think about other 9 tasks. So one thing at a time. And they talk about perseverance and consistency. So they say that flow is also like a muscle. So now that you will relate with this because you also work out. So when you work out, you are training your muscles. So consistency and perseverance is very important there too. So similarly in flow also, if you like some activity, if that activity is giving you joy, and if you repeat it over and over and over again, so automatically you're training your flow muscle. So, and that when you train your flow muscle, you're going closer and closer to your ikigai. So even under the worst situation also, you know that every morning when you are waking up, you have a purpose, you have to serve that, and with that energy and enthusiasm, no matter you could be even 90 years, you will still get up and just face the world with all the challenges that it offers. So
Absolutely.
so this is about they talk about flow in terms of perseverance and consistency. So in everything the authors are trying to relate with ikigai. Why is flow important, and how flow can spark joy in your life when you have flow. So then if you see that they talk about some kind of autotelic personality, people who work for the sake of working and they are not attached to what the outcome will be and all of that. So all of that there, then when you have flow, you have very clear goal setting. You are not confused with too many small tasks. You know that, okay, this year I have to go for 5 major tasks. So clarity is there. These people have high interest in life, people who achieve flow in one or two things and being present in the moment. So I'm just trying to capture one word. And if this is like, let's say a 2-hour session, or uh, even 3-hour session, I can pull it to whatever extent, because I remember all the content that is there in the book just from this small words. And what I did was, and this was again for a presentation, and I wanted to show you this. Flow sparks joy in life. Okay, not this, yeah. TED Talk by the founder. Now, this, as I say, this flow is a concept not devised by the authors of this book, but it is a concept, established concept. So I went and I found out who was the founder and his TED Talk. So if you see, I found out the TED Talk where this person, he is no more now, but this is a talk from 2004, where he describes what is flow, how to achieve flow, directly from the author, the person himself, the father of positive psychology. So I play this small clipping. So I go to, instead of going to YouTube, I just click here, it will take me to that video, and I will show some snippets from the video to the audience. So it becomes more interesting. Then this also, he also gave another talk where he talks about what is the secret of happiness. And that is in 2014. I think this was his last talk before he passed away in 2019. So all of that information, not 2019, he passed away in 2021, last year. Yeah.
Oh.
Last year. Yeah. because when I made this PPT, he did not pass away. I mean, he was there, so I remember. So now I
Mm,
might have to add an extra branch and all. So
mm,
all of
mm,
this is there. So even if I'm handing over this as a handbook, after I put all the information, and if I hand it over to someone, they can always refer to these videos and everything along with the notes. So this is
mhm,
about the third part, that is flow. Now, once all this have been done, next they talk about, I think in around chapter 6 or somewhere there, they talk about the power of yoga and meditation. And then they talk about this concept, Japanese concepts. I'll come to this, but they talk about what is the importance of some daily rituals, like even simple gratitude or whatever it is, some daily rituals, whether we are Indians or in
mm,
whichever country you're residing, we all have a small rituals, not religious things, but it could be just waking up in the morning, listening to music, doing some yoga, going for a walk, or some people, for example, I do gratitude mapping. So whatever, but if we do some sort of meditation on some sort of not just sitting and breath work, but something where I'm completely involved. I have heard that many people, when they do gardening, they call it as meditation because they're fully involved in the gardening process. Every morning they would just do that. They will spend
mm,
some time with their flowers and plants and all. So whatever it is, they will make a part of their daily rituals. And Japanese, they focus more on this combination of physical and awareness of breath, both, not just physical exercise. Like we do a lot of physical exercise, but where we don't control our breath. So they do a combination of both because they feel that, again, the main purpose of the book is to increase our longevity. So if you see, everything is related to that when we have a very strong body and when we have a very strong mind, automatically whatever we are doing, we will find more joy in that.
mm,
So
mm,
they're saying that conscious living and staying very equanimous, acceptance of whatever is happening to us, and not always living a very anxious life, but living an unhurried life, doing everything that is required, but not with a sense of anxiety, but with a sense of purpose. So all of
mm,
this is focused upon this particular topic, where they talk around 2, 3 chapters. They talk about yoga, meditation, and different forms of yoga they explain. So I have not
mm,
put all of that here because depending upon who my audience is, I will put all those information, but it is there in my brain. And if you see,
mm,
this is a concept. I think they call it Ishigo Ishie. If you see that, they talk about the power of being in the present moment, whatever it
mm,
is. So a lot of youth, or even a lot of other coaches, trainers, or maybe in your case also, or in my case also, when I go and train people, even in groups, I see that one of the major thing is having a constant worry. While as a mind mapper, we tell that you should plan, but planning does not mean having a constant worry of what to do next, what will happen next. Even,
mm,
in fact, even for my gallbladder operation, if you see that one moment of anxiousness, and I might start feel pain in the entire body. And now,
mm,
as I'm talking to you, I can actually say there's no pain in the body if this is the moment. So
mm,
in the present moment, we don't feel that when we have a very strong sense of purpose and all of that. But the moment we just deviate from that, you can actually have a lot of, everybody have some pain, maybe physical, some emotional. So all of that will be there. So they say that certain things are beyond our control, but only thing that is in our control is how we operate in this moment.
mm,
So in this moment, however I'm operating, that is what is going to define my life. So instead
mm,
of just keeping on worrying, just accept and uh, understand that this moment won't come again. So all of that, if you see, and this, they also, if you read this, I will just read this for you. This moment exists only now and won't come again. And the
mm,
Japanese often emphasize upon the significance of acceptance of what is beyond control, being present in the moment, and enjoying every moment that life offers, and thus reinforcing the importance of finding and pursuing our ikigai.
mm,
Again, they are saying that all this is important because we want to have a purpose in life. So we
mm,
accept whatever small, small hurdles will come, we will just accept that
mm,
and focus
mm,
towards the bigger purpose.
mm,
So
mm,
this, yeah. So all of this comes under, I have put it under this power of yoga and meditation. Now somebody else could have done it in a different way, but this is how I prefer to remember all the information in this book. And so if you see, first was miracle diet, they talk about diet, then keep moving,
mm,
then
mhm,
flow, then power
mhm,
of yoga and meditation, and then final one is beyond resilience. We always talk about resilience,
And
And
I see that word again, I want to just research more about it. That ichi.
oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a separate book on this. You can write down
Uh,
two terms. This is Ishigo Ishi, and the other one is Wabi Sabi. I think there are separate books on this.
Wabi Sabi. Okay.
Yeah.
You've talked about Wabi Sabi. One day I want you to do a session for me on that also. I want to
Sure.
understand that better.
Sure. I think this
Hmm.
two goes together. Maybe one side
Hmm.
can be Ishigo Ishi and the other side can be Wabi Sabi, because one is finding beauty in imperfection, the other one is accepting the moment.
Okay.
Actually, these two concepts go side by side. So yeah, definitely we can do that. And I have actually taken sessions. I think I just have to collect and put it together. It should be there in some other software. Yeah.
So
So
that's something that I believe in. So
mhm.
hence to know more about it.
Sure.
Interesting.
Sure. And yes, now this beyond resilience, we have heard a lot of times about resilience, and we all know what is the meaning. There's no point explaining it again, but the authors in this book, they go a step beyond. So even before opening the branches and all, I don't know if you, in India also, in different countries also, we have a lot of characters, and especially they are monster characters, people call them, but will let us just not tag them and let us call them some, super natural or superpowers, where if you just cut one head, 10 heads will come out. Or if you cut one part of the body, 10 more parts. So what happens is they don't die, but if we just try to harm them, they only get more powerful. So even I think in Greek mythology, they have this thing called Hydra, where it's like a superpower or something. And if you take a sword, I have seen those cartoons and all. If you take a sword and cut the head, 10 heads come out. So
Right.
something of that sort. So though it's funny, but the authors have explained that in life we can actually become like that. That every time we get a blow, we only come back like 10 times stronger, 5 times stronger. And they say the difference between resilience and whatever I'm talking about, we will call that as anti-fragile. So the difference is that in resilience, we are told that no matter what, I will stay strong. The beyond resilience that the authors talk about in this book is no matter what, I'll not only stay strong, but with every blow, I will get 10 times stronger, 5 times stronger. I'll only get more and more stronger. So it's just one step more than resilience, but they call beyond resilience, or we can say one step. Uh, uh, I mean, it's some addition to what existing resilience theory we have in our mind. So they call it anti-fragile. Now, again, this anti-fragile, this word, just like flow, they have picked up from another book. This is not their term. They have picked up from another book. And so I'm writing here what is the meaning of anti-fragile. I have just collected from the internet, and I did a little bit of study, and I found out that this is anti-fragility is like a property of any system. Now, that system could be human being or anything, where, you know, every time you give some stress or shock or something to the system, it increases its capability. Like I'm giving a shock, or if some kind of shock is given to the system becomes more stronger. So, and this concept was developed, if you see, by this person, Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Okay, Nassim Taleb. So I'll talk more about it. So they say that when you are anti-fragile, you have a ikigai, whatever, you might be resilient, but if you also have a ikigai in life, it means you are becoming anti-fragile.
Purpose of life is your resilience. Correct.
Yes. So,
correct.
and when you are focused, even during all the challenges, if you're anti-fragile, you will be focused just on the goals, because you already know that you have a very big uh, cause. You have a bigger cause, and so small things won't affect you at all. And
I understand.
And then they call that anti-fragile. There is a particular word in this book, ikigai. They say that anti-fragile, things that gain from disorder. That means even if there are more challenges and hardships in your life, you are only getting better and better with it. You take it as an opportunity to get better. So again, I'm writing here that this person in his book, he proposes the word anti-fragile, and he says that the resilient, it's very interesting if you see, I'll just put, the resilient resists shocks and stays the same, but the anti-fragile gets better. And then he said that adopting an anti-fragile attitude in life will make one
I like
stronger
it.
with every blow. So this was something that I
I love it
really,
because today I'm supposed to be talking about resilience today. I'm loving this because I'm going to be immediately adding some more research about it and making my notes on
yeah.
the topic. My topic today is your well-being starts with resilience. So these are my add-ons that I'm learning today.
Wow, wow,
Perfect.
wow. And you can actually talk about, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe just one Google about anti-fragility and you will get all this.
I'm going to try it. I will do that. I will do
Yeah.
that.
So, and I think one word is sufficient, that the resilient will resist shocks, but one step added to that resilience, you will actually get better. So hardships are now opportunities. If I get one hardship, I say, okay, this is an opportunity to get stronger.
Mm.
And if I
Mm.
open this, yeah, I have written that getting better with every blow. So if I have 10 blows in 1 month, it only means that I'm getting 100 times stronger than my peers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So actually we were not resilient, we are being anti-resilient. I love this. Anti-shock, or what is it called?
Anti-fragile.
Anti Absolutely. I like it. I love the I'm gonna yeah. I'm already thinking of an image of an egg with cracks on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I like
And
very nice.
the point why I added this to, when I say students, these were all people above 20 years. So when I spoke to them, what I wanted to tell them is they might have like 100 problems here and there. Some may say like, okay, my peers are doing better. So they were having a lot of problems. So I wanted to tell them that this setbacks, whatever they are having in their life, it could be in terms of family pressure, it could be in terms of not very healthy or conducive environment in the family, whatever it was only an opportunity for growth, because it is like adding up to the stories of their life. They have now many stories to tell. It is like some challenges where if they find the solution, they can actually go and tell others, okay, this is what I did. So many opportunities for growth. All the setbacks are giving you so many opportunities for growth. So
I
this
love
is
it.
what I was emphasizing upon, particularly this point. And then finally, I talk about how to become anti-fragile. And this is again not directly from Ikigai, but I took it from another book. And because it also relates to Ikigai, I kept it here. So okay,
Wow.
this is little big one.
It's a lot.
Okay, just a moment, ma'am. I can
You'll-
share this mind map with you, actually.
Absolutely. I would love this. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So how to become anti-fragile? So we will become anti-fragile in life when we have more choices. For example, when will I be so scared about my job if I'm absolutely not upskilling? For example, I'm an educator, and the only thing I focus upon is making notes after notes every year and just delivering that, and I don't do my back research, I don't upskill my knowledge or whatever. So what will happen the moment something happens and my job is at stake? I will be so scared. But if I'm already upskilling
Doing
and
something, yeah. And then I
doing
at least
something,
have
so I have a side hustle, and even if I don't have a side hustle, I know I have the capability. So immediately the tension is away. So if even if some recession hits me, I know I can do something else. So this is just an example. Relationship. I have seen some people or some women, they are completely dependent upon only their spouse. Now, that's not nothing
yeah.
bad
They
about it,
don't
but
have friend circles,
yeah.
they don't have
So
anything.
just imagine, God forbid, something happens. It could be anything. It could be
Yeah,
something, God forbid, anything happens. The person will be left all alone and
yeah.
emotionally, physically drained. So if you only want to have a better relationship at home, I suggest that, when I take sessions for homemakers, and I tell, go outside, have friends. If you can't go outside, immediately go and log on to social media, find some like-minded people. So even side hustle, having more choices. Now, the moment I say having more choices and I say it is good relationship, people, what does she mean? Having more choices in relationship. But what I want to say is
No,
having more
we have to,
choices. We need to
yeah,
have, like, in terms of,
good healthy
yeah,
relationships.
healthy, good relationship outside our core circle. We have to expand our circle of relationship also.
Absolutely.
Then having more choices, again, taking calculated risk. Small risk in life is required. We cannot be always in a comfort zone. Then pursuing a hobby, some hobby. All of us should pursue some hobby. Community engagements. Again, this is when we have a lot of community engagements, when we go out in the society, help people, we are widening our circle. And all of this will mean that we are having more and more choices in life. We are networking. So ultimately, if you see, this point is coming from networking, that if we network, if we widen our circle, if we have more choices, that means we are adding on to becoming more resilient or becoming anti-fragile.
Absolutely.
And then remove things that make you fragile. That is, first, of course, we have to remove certain things that may make me weak. And how? It could be some habits, it could be some very people who drain all my energy. We have people
right.
sometimes.
Those toxic vampires. I just
Yeah.
talked about it yesterday.
Yeah. So we can create some healthy boundaries with such kind of people. Some relationships, and even if we have some
Yeah.
loans and all, and that loan is all the time. So whatever it is, some fear, stop fearing adversity. So some old memories, anything that is making me weak, at least I can think that, okay, this month I'm going to focus upon this. Next month I will focus upon this. And slowly removing one by one the things that make me fragile. So I automatically feel more resilient and more prepared to face the world. So this, and then that concept that I was talking about, that accepting that there will be uncertainties in life. I remember in my first TEDx talk, the moment I started, they stopped me because there was some.
I remember I was there. It was so annoying. My goodness, it was crazy.
Yes, and I remember after that, so many people, I think I received so many messages, at least over the next 2 days, they were saying, we would have got, forgotten the speech, we would have got angry at this, that. And I said, I understand all of that is correct, but what option did I have? I just have to keep
Nothing.
my
Then
food.
to deliver. That was it.
Just cannot
That
decide
was
certain
great.
things. So
Yeah.
that was the funniest thing, and it should not happen to somebody else.
Anybody.
Yeah,
Anybody.
but at the
Absolutely.
same time, the moment I get angry or the moment I shout, even of course I told the organizers and all of that I did. I did not stop there. Of course, after the session, after a day or two, I told them, I wrote a message that this is something you should really take care of. And because it was, somebody needs to tell them. But at that point of time, if I do all of that, I will shift my focus from the speech. So I said, okay. So accepting uncertainties in life. COVID is an example of that. And then accept.
Subra, I'm so sorry. I think I've just got the message. I will have to jump into that urgent meeting
Okay,
that I
sure,
had.
sure. I think we are done only. This is nothing is left.
Perfect. I loved it. This was my best takeaway. If it's possible, can you send me this?
I'm sharing it immediately.
Immediately.
I'll just make a
I'm gonna
copy
work
of
on
it. I'll make a copy of it and I'm sharing it immediately with you. Maybe around 5 minutes it will take. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Subra. I'm so sorry about today.
No, that's okay. Yeah. Bye, ma'am.